Greetings and salutations, friends and strangers, people of the internet. This is the Kylechat. Thank you for joining. Today is Sunday, and on Sunday we are going to be talking about some interesting articles that sparked our interest. So, here it is. Okay, so once again we have Ethan with us. Ethan, what do you have to say for yourself?
This is going to be an interesting podcast, so I suggest you stick around and check out what you can.
Alright. So, a 37-year-old man is dead after his trailer home was destroyed in a meth lab explosion, caused by him lighting up Blue Angels to amuse his wife.
And they say drugs kill you.
The man's wife was found laying naked in their front yard, reportedly still laughing. In her words, a blue angel is when you put a lighter up to your butt and fart on it, making it catch fire. It's really funny, explains the man's wife, who claims to be an expert on the subject. She said, normally we go to Del Taco because of their 59-cent tacos. But we made some extra cash this week, so we went to Chipotle. The farts you get from there could fill a gas chamber. I know he's looking up from hell, laughing, saying it was worth it, she says, smiling through blackened teeth, apparently not caused by the fire. The woman plans on suing Chipotle, which failed to address their peppers, causing a higher rate of methane in human farts. She offered a statement, I'm not mad about my husband dying. I just got my eyebrows did, and now they are gone. Chipotle Mexican Grill has yet to respond.
Wow. That is hilarious, dude.
Okay, so that's, oh man, I saw that, I thought, well, what in the heck? I mean, that's just, oh, and can you guess what, that's from our wonderful state of Florida.
That's where all the fun comes from.
The fun comes from, yes. Okay, so Ethan, what do we have to hear from you?
Alright, so there's an article about how AI could make your life easier in the year 2019. It's about to. Okay, so let's see. Where do I want to start this at? Okay, so here are some areas in which we can expect AI-based hyper-personalization in 2019. Physical fitness. Okay, so as most of you know, physical health has become a hotbed for most AI applications, like the Apple smartwatches with the step counters, and some phones nowadays are even built with step counters. So
I think most phones are.
Yeah, most phones are. Physicians are subject to mounting pressure from insurers and their own practice groups to spend less time with patients. The average doctor visit today is about 20 minutes. Fitness app and wearables like the Fitbit and Apple Watch and even some VR headsets can automatically collect people's data, such as how many steps and flight of stairs you climbed, and aggregate these across these user population and aggregate these across the user population to generate even more personalized fitness profiles and plans. Blech, I cannot talk today. Much like the Nest, smart thermostat users data. Seriously, I can't talk today. Much like the Nest smart thermostat uses data from across home to optimize energy use plans. Suggestions like reduce your food intake 210 calories per day to increase your life expectancy by 1.5 years may not be far off. Fitbit and Google have already teamed up to combine personal fitness data with medical records to deliver a more complete healthcare profile to physicians. The problem to date has been that most fitness app wearables users tire. Seriously, Kyle. Man, I don't know what's wrong with me right now. The problem to date has been that most fitness app wearables users tire of entering the foods they've eaten. That was a weird sentence. Or cheat and choose not to enter them. That results in garbage in and garbage out problem. Without accurate data, analysis are meaningless. That's very true. AI has an answer for that. As AI becomes more advanced, you'll simply be able to take a picture of what you eat, or the app will monitor food intake through your smart glasses. Speaking of smart glasses, back in 2014, there was a technology it made the Google Glass. And ever since that year, I've only seen about 2 or 3 of them, even on the internet. That thing is really expensive. That's off topic, but anyway. Automating the data collection processes. And I probably should have restarted that sentence, but whatever. Some apps like Lose It are already using this kind of technology. No more forgetting to log the cheeseburger and fries you had for lunch. Okay. And this also, AI can also affect mental health. Mental health is another rising domain of AI application. Want to understand what times a day you feel most down, or what people bring out your highest and lowest energy levels? Yeah, this article's pretty long. I don't know, but the basically the topics it goes over are physical fitness, mental health, personal finances, shopping, and that's it. Those are the topics it says AI will apply to in 2019. So I'm gonna typically say that um, I can see how it would apply to mental health and
Right.
physical fitness. And I'm not gonna read the article because it's a really long article,
Okay.
but
And you don't
I
want to deal with it,
will.
apparently?
I already read it once, so not
Okay.
really.
Well, don't choose
But
articles that you don't want to put in the show.
yeah, it looked interesting the first time, and now it's so much. But um, I'll leave a link to the article in the description if you want to read it yourself.
Okay.
Moving
So,
on.
police were searching for a man who fired several shots through a Taco Bell drive-thru window when he did not get the taco sauce he wanted. This happened recently at a Taco Bell in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. When officers got to the scene of the reported shooting, they learned that what a fight over a hot sauce could have caused the ordeal. It appears that there was some type of confrontation with an employee through the drive-thru. A man was complaining about not getting enough sauce, and not getting taco sauce was very upset. Sergeant Gary Knight with the Oklahoma Police Department said, according to police, the suspect then fired at least one round through the drive-thru window. So, I guess sometimes when you don't get what you want through the drive-thru, you just want to drive through the restaurant. Alright, Ethan, what do you have now? Hopefully this is better than the first.
Oh yeah, the first one was kind of bad, but anyway, let's
Kinda?
move on. What?
I said kinda.
Shut up.
Said with a question
No,
mark.
anyway, all right. So a website known as Live Science posted an article last year. Could life on Mars be lurking deep underground? I've heard about this a little bit, to the fact where people are like, maybe Martians are living underground, but I don't know. Let's just read the article.
I think we should.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so typically Mars missions searching for signs of lives target the planet's surface at sites where the signs of ancient water, a reliable indicator of where life is found on Earth, obviously. But while no life is turned up yet on Mars' surface, there may be an abundance of microbial Martians congregating underground, according to research presented December 11, 2018.
Here's
Here at the
something
annual.
that I want to butt in real quick. When you say the word Martian, people imagine a little green feller.
Yeah, but
and
it's basically anything on Mars that is living.
So what they're talking
So
about
Martian
now is,
soil, the Martian sky, Martian air.
what they're talking about now is more along the lines of microbes that could, in theory, be living beneath the surface. So not necessarily things that could interact or do anything, but just
with humans or anything like that,
I don't know if
or
anyone
cause
here,
any significant difference to anything.
anyone here might be familiar with the water bear. The water
Wait,
bear.
wasn't that the? I can't remember if that was a movie. No, it wasn't.
No, they're little microscopic animals that have 6 legs, and they can live pretty much in any condition whatsoever. They're very interesting. I'll post something on the screen about them, and I'll post a link about them. We might even do a future show about them. So, continue.
All right. Anyway, so okay, right. In recent decades, explorations underground on Earth have revealed the so-called deep biosphere, a subsurface environment teeming with teeming. I think that's the word, with microorganisms. And scientists expect that I can't talk. Similarly, you know the word. Biologically rich zone may be thriving under Mars' surface too. In fact, perhaps there was never an evolutionary push to inhabit the surface of Mars at all. Joseph Mikowski, an associate professor with the Department of Earth Sciences at the University of Hong Kong.
Earth.
Oh, I said Earth.
I know, and I said Earth.
Okay. Okay, so said at the presentation, the expectation that life involved on the Martian surface may reflect a bias established by what we know about life on our home planet. Mikowski Kyle, I'm about to give up. Mikulski said, billions of years ago, when the planets in our solar system were young, the surface of Mars was likely quite similar to that of Earth. Its rocky neighbor that changed when Mars lost its magnetic field, which exposed it to a bombardment from intense radiation that would have made survival above ground extremely challenging.
Oh, this is quite a bombardment. This is quite a
Mikulski told
bombardment.
Live Science, however, it's possible that life was already cooking on Mars before that happened.
Hey,
Scientists think life
got
first appeared on
cooking?
Earth about 3.8 billion to 3.9 billion years ago, when conditions in some spots likely resemble today's hydrothermal environments. You know what? I'm about to punch myself in the face.
Not a
Much
bad
like
idea.
Mars at the time, perhaps life arose on Mars at the same time that it was taking shape on Earth, but adapted exclusively to life underground, Mikulski said. Life could have emerged in those hydrothermal settings and survived in the subsurface for quite a long time, he said. And if Earth's deep biosphere is any indication, the underground Martian microbial communities could be exceptionally rich and diverse. Earth's deep biosphere was first discovered only about 30 years ago, and estimates since then have suggested that those deep-dwelling microorganisms make up nearly half of all life on the planet. Mikulski told Live Science. Ugh. Microbes in Earth's deep biosphere play a role in burying carbon that could otherwise become a greenhouse gas, and are linked to deep energy resources, and are important for understanding the origins and evolution of life, Mikulski said. We're at a point now where it's truly a frontier of understanding what deep biosphere truly means on Earth and how that relates to the exoplanets and other planets in our solar system. It's a window into our origins. Mars' subsurface is an especially promising place to start looking for extraterrestrial microbes because it's even more habitable for microorganisms at Earth's deep biosphere.
Right.
Then Earth's deep biosphere. Subsurface rock on Mars is more porous than on Earth, creating pockets for nutrients and gas exchange, and Mars' cooler core, though still molten, provides a more hospitable temperature for microbes living deep in rock, Mikulski added. We could have single-celled organisms that could be dormant for a long time but could survive through metabolizing hydrogen, methane, and potentially sulfur. Mikulski told Live Science, without being too specific, we think there are a lot of possibilities.
Right, and that's back to the thing of water bearers. They can... So basically, when they are without water for a long time, they just go completely dormant, and they can live for thousands of years like that. And they can go through anything. They can go through the radiation of space and still live through that. And there's a lot of studies being done today on them. But as soon as you reintroduce them to water, they can live for a little while. They live a lot shorter when they're introduced to water. But very interesting little fellers.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
now, anything you want to share about that?
Honestly, life on Mars is, if it is possible, let's say there was Martians at a time, and, I don't know, I haven't really looked into it, but whether or not that there was life on Mars at one time, I don't know if they either moved underground or they left the planet entirely, but it's all up to you. But honestly, it would be cool to find out if there was life on Mars, but at the same time, it would just change everything on Earth too.
Well, I don't
And
think if they find 4 little
and
one-celled organisms on Mars, it's gonna change squat.
if let's say that the planet had actual sentient beings on the planet, like when it was still alive,
Ethan used
and
a big
those
word.
Yeah, I know, and I could actually pronounce it without messing up. Normally I can read things perfectly fine without messing up, but
you do good.
I think I was just rushing through it today, and that's why it was all messing up. Anyway,
You got a little
let's say there
walrus
was sentient beings on the planet at one time, and why would they? Let's say they
We're
were
lacking
like
some sentient beings on Earth.
that's true. Okay, so let's say they were sentient, and why would they decide to go underground instead of going to a planet like, let's say, caveman-ridden Earth, where,
Right.
they're all
Well,
just stupid and can't fight back laser guns with pointy sticks,
laser
Like,
guns with pointy sticks.
I mean, hey, you never know.
I
Maybe
know,
the
but just
Martians, if they
the
were
image
real,
in
if
my
they,
head was
it's just a
just
bunch
hilarious.
of.
I wish I was good at
And for
drawing
all
and I
you know,
could
the
draw
Martians
that.
may not have even been green. They could have been silver, or they could have been purple. They could have been galaxy colored. You never know.
They could have been purple people eaters.
Yeah, they could have been
One-eyed,
walking.
one-horn, flying purple
You
people
never know.
eater.
But one thing is for sure, this theory will be either proven or debunked if life exists on Mars underground. Well, sentient life. Once Earth can get humans to Mars without, and
Yeah.
long enough to where they can start seeing if Mars has actual, resources like oil or timber or,
And well, we
gold
know there's
maybe.
not timber.
Well, I'm stupid. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Hey, maybe the timber went underground too.
Underground timber, yeah. There's a forest underground.
Yeah,
We've just
All
had a
right,
breakthrough.
moving on to the next article.
Noel, hold on. I was gonna say something. Oh yes. Oh no, I forgot what I was gonna say. You screwed me up.
Tell that to Mars.
Tell that to Mars. Okay. I was gonna say something. Pretty much everything having to do with there possibly being. Yeah. What was I don't even remember what I was gonna say. Just forget it. Okay. So this is one of those articles that makes you lose faith in police and
Society
humanity in general.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I feel sorry for this poor guy. This is back in Florida, so we have some real geniuses down in Florida. If you're listening from Florida, please leave a comment. Daniel Rushing treats himself to a Krispy Kreme donut every other Wednesday. He used to eat them in his car. Not anymore. Not since a pair of Orlando police. Orlando
So I guess you're doing it too?
I am. It's catching. Orlando police officers pulled him over, spotted 4 tiny flakes of glaze on his floorboard, and arrested him, saying that they were pieces of crystal meth. The officers did 2 roadside drug tests, and they both came back positive for illegal substance, according to his arrest report. He was handcuffed, arrested, and taken into the county jail and strip searched. A state crime lab, however, did a test several weeks later and cleared him. It was incredible, he said. It feels scary when you haven't done anything wrong and you get arrested. It's just a terrible feeling. So an elderly officer who made the arrest said Captain, okay, Shelby Riggs Hopkins, an 8-year department veteran, had staked out at the 7-Eleven because of complaints about drug activity. She wrote in a report, she pulled over Rushing because he failed to come to a full stop before pulling out of the convenience store parking lot, and because he was driving 42 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour zone, according to a report. That's when she spotted a rock-like substance on the floorboard, and where his feet were. She wrote, I recognize through my 11 years of training and experience as a law enforcement officer the suspect to be some sort of narcotic. She asked permission to search his vehicle. The report says Rushing agreed. I didn't have anything to hide, he said. I'll never let anyone search my car again. Riggs Hopkins and other officers spotted 3 other pieces of suspicious substance in his car. I keep telling them that's a glaze from a donut. They tried to say it was crack, cocaine at first, but then they said no, it's meth, crystal meth. His arrest report confirms that he tried to tell them. Rushing stated that the substance was sugar from a Krispy Kreme donut that he ate. Riggs Hopkins wrote, she booked him into the county jail on charge of possession of methamphetamine and a firearm. He was locked up for about 10 hours before his release on a $2,500 bond. He said, according to the FDLE, an analysis in its Orlando crime lab did not try to identify what police found in his car. She only checked to determine whether it was a legal drug and confirmed that it was not. 3 days later, the state's attorney office in Orlando filed paperwork saying that it was dropped the case. Rushing, retired after 25 years as an Orlando Parks Department employee. He has hired a lawyer and is asking the city to pay him damages. I got arrested for no reason at all, he said. He has not spelled out how much money he wants, but attorney William Ruffier says he expects to file the suit next month. The Orlando Police Department did not explain why the 2 drug tests that Riggs Hopkins conducted were wrong. When asked how many other roadside drug tests have been that have produced false positive results. An OPD spokeswoman wrote, "At this time, we have no responsive records. There is no mechanism in place for an easily tracking of the number of or results of field drug testing."
Wow.
So, I mean, imagine you're just driving down the road, minding your own business, eating your donut, and the next thing you know, you're arrested for meth that you never had. I mean, that's quite a time. I couldn't imagine being in that guy's shoes, just how mad you'd be.
Yeah,
It's like, what in the heck, you know? You're being nice, and oh yeah, sure, you can search my car, I got nothing to hide. Well, this is meth. What? I mean, you know? It's just absolutely...
that's just... That would just
ridiculous.
suck.
So, we figured a few things out. This has nothing to do with this episode. I think this episode's pretty much wrapped up. So, on a side note, we figured some things out for somewhat of a schedule for when we're going to be posting things. So, and what they're going to be. So, Wednesday, we are going to have some sort of it'll be science, technology, real life, factual, hard evidence, whatever discussion. Okay, and then Saturday will be our mythological, philosophy, paranormal, you name it, discussion. And then Sunday...
just supernatural stuff or whatever.
Right. And then Sunday is the articles that interest us, which is what you're hearing right now, what you just heard, which is just news articles or just articles about anything interesting that we can't make a whole show out of. So, yeah. Ethan, what was your favorite article from today?
I think, honestly, my favorite article was probably the drug one. That one was pretty hilarious.
The Blue Angel?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The meth lab explosion. Based on exploding farts. Because Chipotle's beans caused too much methane. Which, if you've ever ate at Chipotle, you would know that is 100% true.
Dude, if you go to Chipotle, you better make sure you have a whole bag of toilet paper. Your toilet ain't gonna survive. I mean,
the real thing is, if you go to Chipotle, don't light your farts on fire near a meth lab.
Yeah, because that would be really bad.
It blew the naked woman out of her house. So,
I mean, there's a lot of other interesting articles that we read tonight, but I guess the one I liked the least would probably be the AI one.
Yeah, that was lame. Yeah. That was.
I'll link it if any of you are interested in that stuff, just in case. Yeah, we're gonna link all the articles we went over tonight.
I'm required to link it just in my own mind, but definitely not too happy about that. But hey, it happened. So yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for letting us waste 24 minutes of your life, and hopefully we were boring enough to put you to sleep. Thank you for your time and participation. And hey, we didn't even have a short break this time. So thank you.
Yeah, we didn't have an intermission because it wasn't long enough for an intermission.
Well, I mean, nutrition, which is going to be premiering next Wednesday. Today is Sunday. Nutrition will be next Wednesday.
So not the Wednesday.
Pretty short.
This week coming up, or are we talking
this Wednesday. So.
Okay.
Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So
Wednesday the 20th.
20th, right.
Yeah.
And that will be nutrition, which was fairly interesting. I would have liked to do better, but I think I need another co-host for that one.
Oh.
And not being mean to Ethan in any way, but just...
I helped out a lot. I don't know what you're talking about.
You did help out a lot, but I need someone who is more concerning about their health.
That is true. I don't really care that much about it.
I need a health-conscious person. So, yeah, but
I think, you never know. Nutrients may not actually be irregular.
Right. Well, I think I want to.
The topics will switch up every now and then,
And I am awaiting a response from a friend of mine that I think will make a fantabulous. I say that in a pure heterosexuality, a fantabulous episode.
Wow, I see how it is. You're going to replace me that easily?
No, but it's going to be about the medical industry and how they are trying to kill you. And I
You
will
know
be
what? I see
sharing.
how it is. I see how it is.
Hold on, and I will be sharing my own opinions, and a guest of mine will be sharing her own opinions. And so I think she'll have a very interesting thing to add to this on this subject, being someone who is a advocate of the medical profession and someone who's not anti-doctor per se. I think we'll have some interesting commentary from that side. So, me being a strict anti-doctor, anti-medical profession, anti-medicine, anti.
Anti. I can see it's very anti.
Yes. And so I think that'll be very interesting. Hopefully that will be a Wednesday episode. I would hope it would be next Wednesday. So not the Wednesday of nutrition, but the next Wednesday. I hope it'll come out. But that's awaiting a response that may or may not
So
ever
it's
come.
a 50-50. Yeah.
Yeah. So it could be months down the road, but that'll definitely be one to look forward to. So yeah, thank you for tuning in, and we will hear from you you will hear from us in the next episode. Ethan, say your good riddance.
Well, thank you all for tuning in, and see you in the next one.
Yeah, we'll see you then. All right.